around 3,500 Bitcoin and 115,777 Ethereum were bought on July 18th. And what you're noticing here is how Ethereum actually saw a higher inflow compared to BTC, which is again pretty much confirming what we've been discussing. The shift that we're seeing within the altcoins, and pretty much Ethereum has continuously lead the way over the course of the last 1 month, month and a half, which really tells you that altcoins are starting to heat up. And of course, all these major analysts and even the likes of these big asset managers are projecting Ethereum to make a move, which it is already starting to do so. But welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. To the XRP holders, appreciate you guys as always. Looking across the market as we are going into Saturday morning, we are seeing a little bit of a retracement across the board. But if you're looking at XRP, it is holding better than the broader market. And that's something that you don't want to be forgetting when you are analyzing the price of XRP. But as far as the price is concerned, going into Saturday morning, $3.46, down about 1% in Bitcoin comparative. Market cap, $204.1 million, and the 24-hour trading volume, about 12.1 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So US whales are snapping up Ethereum. A rare Ethereum premium has emerged on Coinbase, a sign of strong institutional demand. Spot ETF inflows just hit an all-time high, and with the market still cool, this could be calm before the major breakout. And when you're looking at Ethereum, it's a major catalyst, major key factor you need to really analyze when you are looking into even altcoins breaking out. And one of the biggest signs right here, right now, is how the dominance is continuing to fall, regardless of Bitcoin seeing an increase or not. Because as you guys know, Bitcoin was sitting at $120,000 just on Thursday, and yet you still did not see the dominance showing any signs of increasing, which tells you that altcoins are, pretty much at the focal point in terms of interest. And as we know, retail interest has come in at a very record levels now. Obviously not at an all-time high, but it's been quite some time since we've seen this much shift coming in to altcoins, and especially that interest coming from retail itself. But this picture sums it up so perfectly. Shout out to Jack the Ripple. You can see, it's pretty much two people here, and people are waiting in line. When it was at 20 cents, no one really wanted, or no one was really paying attention to XRP. But now that the price is at around $3.50, everyone is in line, and everyone is the biggest moon boy on the planet on XRP. But that's not the case. Literally just 2 to 3 weeks ago, you were seeing a very similar example playing out, because the price was consolidating so nicely within this 38-point Fibonacci retracement level, yet you were seeing comments coming in stating that the price of XRP is not doing anything, it has done nothing, and people were forgetting how much it had increased in such a short span of time, and how it was accumulating and consolidating regardless of market volatility or not. And only people that we're paying attention to are the ones that obviously that have been accumulating XRP from day one. And to be honest, those are the people that are really doing good for themselves as of now. So right now, of course, all the masses are paying attention to XRP, but it's such an important thing that no one was paying attention to it. I'm not saying not at all people were. Of course, there were still people that were paying attention to it, but those are the real holders and the believers, in my personal opinion. But let me know your personal thoughts down below in regards to this. But look at this behind the scenes. Every major bank in the country has been launching blockchain services. Plus, Fortune 500 investors are starting to flood the market. And of course, we know, and the Fortune 500 has been all over it too. Starbucks, Nike, Western Union, PayPal, Walmart, Disney, and investors are starting to pay attention, and they're beginning to flood the market. And that's exactly what's happening. You're seeing big capital coming in for the first time ever. And with the regulatory clarity coming towards the digital asset space, that pretty much opens the door to another scale for cryptocurrencies. So you can see banks are already prepared for stablecoin legislation after years of testing digital cash. We should see a lot of news about banks issuing stablecoins after the president signs the Genius Act. That's the base level expectation. And on top of that, what's another expectation is that these banks to offer crypto services to their clientele, and offer crypto custody services, or partner with emerging or already well established companies that have already been building over the years. And this is where Ripple comes into play. And on top of that, you can see, American Express, Bank of America, Standard are now using XRP per new data revealed by, of course, Smoke. Shout out to Smoke. And you can see this for yourself. Recent use cases of cryptocurrencies and XRP. You can see hundreds of financial institutions, including American Express, Bank of America, and Standard, have partnered with Ripple. Ripple partnered with various sustainable leaders, including the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, aiming to hit carbon net zero by 2030. So we talk about a real world use case. That's a perfect example. And look who was at the White House, Stewart himself. So Ripple was present when this bill was signed into reality. So big stuff happening. But now let's take a look at what's happening with the price. I've already highlighted to you guys about the dominance, as we are still going into Saturday morning. Dominance still showing weakness. We did go a little bit up, but still showing major weakness. The fact that we're still below the May level, which is really, really nice to see. Bitcoin is picking up steam right now, but do expect a little bit more volatility over the weekend as CME futures are closed. We need to keep that factor in mind. It tends to be more manipulation, but Bitcoin has gone up a little bit over the last few hours, while dominance is still low. XRP is also starting to make a nice move right now. If you guys are taking a look at it on an hourly perspective, you will really see what is happening with the price of XRP. So let's take a look at XRP on an hourly scale. You can see we have bounced above this key support line a few different times, and we're currently sitting at about $3.46. Obviously, some resistance coming in our way. If this is able to break out, I am targeting the $3.54 key range before we start heading towards all-time highs, and that itself is only a move of about 2.69%. In order for us to hit a new yearly high, that itself is only a move of about 6.47%. XRP is holding really, really nicely, and when you consider how much of a great move we have had, regardless of that, the price of XRP has held its ground quite nicely, and that's just giving me more confidence that we do see the all-time high, official all-time high, sooner rather than later. Let me know down below what you guys think. We'll see you later from Crypto ZX, and peace out.